So the door took us to the 19th century. What the hell? This is some back to the Future type shit right here. Oh no. Hey everyone, it's your girl Hal, and we're back doing another Ikemen vampire episode. Now, I'm still in the prologue, believe it or not, and I'm still trying to figure out when is this prologue going to fucking end. But hey, you may never know, maybe something interesting will actually happen as this prologue continues. So guys, let's get into the episode. Outside the mansion, where Hal and the others sat at the table set for 10, a lavish coach remained stopped just past the gate, the coachman tending to his horses. I've decided not to stay. Who is you? Okay. The man who, at times, was a king, a prince, a lover, but always a liar, left the moonlight to re-enter the coach. But monsieur, what about the banquet? Capricious fate has invited a guest of fairer mien than mine to take my chair. Oh, so we took my boy's chair. My bad. Hers is center stage tonight. Though I shan't stay to see how she performs, let us depart anon. The coach hurried off through the night, its passenger relaxing into a seat cushioned against the harshness of the road. Quietly, he spoke to himself, a bard playing to an audience of none. Oh, what an unturned expectations have come at the arrival of this new player. The bard had seen Hal but for a moment, and yet he found himself haunted by her. No devil can beguile men to persuasions more than she with an angel's form. Or be she one of heaven's messengers behind the horns and wings of temptation? Flattery does not charge my batteries. But we shall continue. The coach rocked it as it hit a divot in the path, sending the script in the bard's lap tumbling to the coach floor. Visual on the cover was a signature, scrawled in fresh ink belonging to that of William Shakespeare. So we got William fucking Shakespeare in our midst. Okay, alright, I can do with this. And I always love anime characters that have two different colored eyes. We got one yellow and we got one red. We got one yellow eye and we got one Sharingan eye. I like that. Sebastian, if you would make us a cup of herbal tea, I think Anas would be... Not for me, please. Dinner had ended with no answers. Le Comte invited me to his suite for an explanation, as promised. I have only one question. How do I get back? Does that door have a dead bolt? Where's the key? Is it your fingerprint? Whatever, I don't care. I just need it open. The door isn't locked. Opening it is easy, but it only opens under very specific conditions. What conditions? The specifics are a bit hard to explain. Le Comte de Saint-Germain got up from his chair and stopped in front of an oversized hourglass. The top half was full of sand. Don't tell me once the sand in the hourglass goes all the way down, that's when the frickin' door opens. Please do not tell me that. It will open when all the sand in this hourglass has fallen. Fuck! I knew it. It's quite precise, and I rely on its timing myself. I do not like how much sand is in there. I see. And approximately how long does that hourglass run for? It takes a month on average? Wow, okay. A month on average? Did he stutter? Did you just say it takes a month? It typically takes a month for all the sand to fall, doesn't it, Sebastian? Yes, Emily Comtate, meaning she will not be able to leave for another month, approximately. Well, they can forget that. I know. We're in Paris. Yes? Yes. I'll leave through the front door. How far are we from the Louvre? There's no need to fix it on that strange door. Why would I need to get back? I don't know how it became night without my knowing, but I can return to my hotel and get back to work tomorrow. Le Commentaire de Saint-Germain returned to his seat and picked up a newspaper folded on the table. I'd like you to look at the date. Le Petit Parisien, however the fuck you pronounce that. I looked at the date. I didn't believe it. But the paper, the feel of it, the news articles, it was too real. I grew cold. This is this morning's edition. As you've no doubt gathered from the date, we're in the 19th century. Hold up. Hold on. Pause the recording. We are in 19th century. Did Doc come and take us in his DeLorean and take us back to the past with him without me knowing? What? This is really the 19th century? On the caps of the turn of the century, if this date is correct, but how could that be? Saint Germain kept a calm, inexorable tone. We're in France, but not the France you know. You arrived at this mansion by traveling through time. You're kidding me. So, okay, that was a very interesting turn of events. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I personally thought that we just went through the door. We just went to a whole different place. Somewhere, somehow in this world. But we went all the way back in time. Yeah, okay. I don't understand. You look like you're struggling to believe it. What do you expect? I'd believe any number of explanations before I believe time travel. It's true that a newspaper can easily be faked. Maybe this will convince you. Le Commentaire moved toward a window where an old-fashioned brass telescope was set up. What an excellent idea, Emily Comte. Seeing is believing, they say. It is our good fortune that, owing to the genius of one of our guests, this telescope provides an excellent view of the city. I let them guide me to it and peered within. When my vision focused, I saw... It's all real. There were no neon signs, no skyscrapers. I counted one car but saw 100 carriages. I'm seeing it, but I can't believe it. I turned the telescope to someplace closer. Gentlemen in morning coats escorting ladies with bustles. Dressing up actors in a mansion was one thing. You couldn't dress up an entire town. I was not in the 21st century. Then I've traveled through time. There's a phrase you say in Japanese. Do you recall it, Sebastian? Yes, we call it a time slip. That's not something we say in Japanese. That's something we say all around. Okay. It's true. That is what we call it. But that doesn't matter right now. How did you come to terms with the impossible? That door connects the past and present. You used it to travel here, to the past. You may have read or seen stories about time travel. But in my experience, it's neither simple nor an everyday occurrence. You see, that's one of the reasons why we see Mozart, we see Isaac Newton, we see William Shakespeare, because I'm like, how on God's green earth could these vampires could go ahead and just be here? These vampires who are named these men throughout history who did a lot of stuff, be in the 21st century, and now it makes sense. It's not an any-day occurrence. Time travel has a very particular rules. In this case, you cannot return for the next month. When all the sand in the hourglass falls, yes, when that time comes, either you or I could open the door. But even I must follow the rules. It remains sealed for me for a month as well. He doesn't control it? If the door hadn't shut, you could have passed through it exactly the way you came. Look at his pressed, smug little face. But once it closed, that particular passage ceases to exist, and the door requires time before it can open again. You mean I could have walked back if the door hadn't closed? Well, that's great. The men you've met tonight, all of them were gathered here by way of a time slip. So that's all of them got there. That is why people from such diverse times and countries are all here, living in my mansion. So all of them just happily found this big huge ass door and be like, oh, well, I'm so curious, let me just slip through this door. Slip through the door and then eventually gets trapped. Okay, I see where this is going. If what he's saying is true, then the men I met at dinner, could they be real? So many famous names, names from history, many known throughout the world. I can see you still have some doubts. But I can assure you, you've met the real Von Goethe, the real Mozart, and the real Napoleon. Okay, so that was just, wow, that was a huge hump and a half, if I couldn't say so myself, because I said so. As I said, I've always wondered why we're in the 21st century and then we're going to meet vampires, but then I was like, these vampires or these men, their names are the men throughout history that have changed the world, and then all of a sudden they're just here in the 21st century. So I was like, how is that gonna go down? But thanks to Jermaine, my boy, he went ahead and he explained it for us. But so far, I don't take back what I said before when it came down to the prologue, that this prologue does need to fucking end. It does, because I'm really interested in just grabbing one boy and just having my way with him, not gonna lie. But the story is interesting. It really is interesting. And I just can't wait to figure out what's gonna happen next. But that's gonna do it for this video, guys. Make sure to like it if you enjoy it. Subscribe to my channel for more visual novel and anime content. And I'll see you guys in the next episode of Ikemen Vampire. Jane!